remember President Uhuru Kenyatta showing up and talking to young people and telling them, the Gen Zs, that they need to come out and fight for their right.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I chuckled because under his administration, for example, people who spoke up, people disappeared. He didn't like people. He even ran away from social media when people were asking questions.
Yes.
At least President William Ruto has stayed. President Uhuru Kenyatta ran away when there were questions. And then, of course, I thought of something. President Uhuru Kenyatta is a person who comes from a place of power. He understands power very well. He grew up in power. He was born in Purple, grew up in State House. And you know, there has been always this feeling where Njeri Maina comes from, that there were general people, the genuine people who were fighting for independence, the Mau Mau. And then the Home Guard stole the Mau Mau revolution. And I'm thinking, could it be that President Uhuru Kenyatta is also trying to tell the elite kids to run away with the Gen Z revolution? Because a lot of times revolutions are stolen.
Yeah.
And I saw whatever he was doing was an attempt of trying to align and incite the quote-unquote elite kids. There's always an elite of every society. The 1%ers telling them, come out and fight for your rights. It was like the other general masses have fought.
Yeah.
Now the country is ready for takeover. And now he's actually coming and telling Guinea and the others, you guys can come out and fight. They were not there when people were storming parliament. But now they are being told, since there has been a little bit of, the city is about to fall,
yeah.
Now the general comes from behind and he's the one who lifts the flag. That is stealing a revolution.
Okay.
That's just about where we are going.
Let's bring in something that happened before I bring in Njeri Maina here, and I'll give you a chance to respond. I know you have something to say to Waliba, but there's something the Deputy President spoke about earlier on when he was on TikTok Live. This is after the President said that he had to let go of some people because they were corrupt, incompetent, and tribalist. This was the former Deputy President's response.
When you talk about incompetence, the people of Kenya know who is incompetent. That is where we are as a country. That is sheer incompetence. If you ask people in 2 years what has happened in this country, that is sheer incompetence. So when you talk about people who are corrupt, people who are incompetent, just take the mirror, look at yourself, because the people of Kenya know better. They know exactly where we are. Instead of discussing development, they are just discussing Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua is not a road in Busia. He is not a water pan in Vihiga. He is not a hospital in Luanda. How come you have trivialized a whole tour of a region to one person? You are just discussing a person. Instead of discussing the issues, he was here. He was here in church every Sunday. He was in every village. He knew every road by name. Now he has disappeared because the people of here have known him. They have known that all those things he told us were not true. They were lies. And he cheated us and he conned us. So I want to tell the people of Western Kenya to be careful. We have seen that script before. Even if he was able to revive Dedan Kimathi, Mwai Kibaki, Jomo Kenyatta, and appoint them to his cabinet, nothing will change in the Mount Kenya region. Even if he was to revive Gachagua and Mumbi and the 9 daughters, make Gachagua his deputy president, make Mumbi his prime cabinet secretary, make the 9 daughters, Washera, Waithera, Wanjiru, Wambui, and all as cabinet secretaries, nothing would change. The mountain is gone and gone forever.
Is that true, Njeri? Is the mountain gone and gone forever? And is this a sign of a failed system of governance or a manifestation of selfish political interests?
Trevor, I'll appreciate that my co-panelists here, both of them, and especially Buluma, has said that it is not a mountain issue. And I don't know why people want to put it as a Mount Kenya issue. The Kenyan people, and specifically when the youth came to the streets, it was not Mount Kenya youth. It was not in central Kenya where people were coming to the streets. Kenyans have grown lethargic of this government everywhere. Now, for Mount Kenya, it is an entire, the lethargy, plus, of course, now the politics of it in regard to the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. If you recall, and we have to be factual and honest with ourselves, Kenyan people vote along regional lines, tribal lines. If you look at where the current president got his votes, he got it mostly from Rift Valley region, Central Kenya region, a bit of Coast, a bit of the Eastern region, but the majority of his votes came from Central Kenya, followed by Rift Valley. So let us be honest and have this conversation where you want. I had remarks of Honorable Daniel Wanyama speaking in a forum where the president was actually there, and he seemed very comfortable with what was being expressed in regard to isolating Mount Kenya region and ensuring that apparently they're not anywhere near power for forever, or rather, he said, I think on 50 years or forever. But what I want to say is that it is not only Mount Kenya, but for a fact, like His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua has said, Mount Kenya is gone. And what I can say is that the former president, Uhuru Kenyatta, I think we must never forget that it's not that he was too good of a president, you know? And like Maliba says, I saw you thought I wanted to respond in defense, but I actually wanted to agree with Maliba that let us not be hypocritical when we are comparing the former presidency and the current presidency. And please just allow me to say this. We are in an information era. The believability, the credibility of this government has been lost. And especially in Mount Kenya region, where voters were singing, there was a popular song, we will wake up early in the morning and vote for the current president. And then they felt that their views in regard to the impeachment proceedings, you know, the way the process was hastened, they just sheer lack of even mere goodwill to the constitution, to respect the institution of the judiciary, the executive overreach was very open. So Mount Kenya, yes, besides the other issues that Kenyans are facing, politically, they feel that this is not a government that they're able to partner with in the next election. And of course, Omunyoro residence has become very popular. I have seen that apparently it's busier than State House, it is said, on the social media platforms. And we're charting a different path, and of course we'll be working with other Kenyans. And if the Kenyan people agree to the course, changing course in 2027, like I've said, because we're in a democracy, well and good. If they say they want to retain this government, well and good, because at the end of the day, sovereignty belongs to the people, and the Kenyan people collectively.
So you're leaving Kenya Kwanza?
I did not say I'm leaving Kenya Kwanza, but I have said enough.
What does that mean?
Is there a way that you want me to word it?
No, I'm just asking a question.
I have said enough without
you're chatting
without saying too much.